So how to retain data from Universal Analytics before the data expires in Google, and so July 1st, 2024. That is likely going to be a very, very important question over the next 6 months. It's going to be a really important question in June, when everyone has finally come to realize they're going to lose access to all universal analytics data that they've been relying on. If you've got a business that's older than like a year or two, and you have all of your universal analytics data that you refer to back to see how your website's improved year over year, or to check out different trends in your traffic, or even just trends in different page traffic. Like I said, July 1st, all of that data is going to become unavailable in Google. So the big question is going to be, what do we do with that data? How do we save it? Can we migrate it? And what are our options really? So the most obvious question that most of us want to do is, how do we get our universal analytics into GA4? Because that would just make life so much easier if we could just migrate the data and have it all available within the same GA4 platform. Unfortunately, Google did not allow that. There are fundamental differences between Universal Analytics and Google Analytics 4, that there really is no one-to-one relationship with old data to new data. They look at things differently. They're based off of different kinds of events, and so there's just not a way to migrate data from one platform to the other, which is, like I said, it's a real bummer, because that means the sooner that you integrated GA4 on your website, the more data you have in that platform. So you could have over a year of data in GA4 right now if you started early. If you waited, if you waited till closer to the deadline, you may only have about 4 months of data in GA4 right now, which means come July 1st, a lot of your data is going to be gone. And so what do we do with that? So I've read a lot about this so far, and there's really kind of boils down to two different options. One is the complicated option, which is people are recommending exporting the data to another Google product called BigQuery. I've done a little bit of research on that. It is not something that I think is going to be very helpful for a lot of novice users, or even potentially with a lot of even more advanced analytics users, because this is a different product. It does require its own learning curve. And so it's likely not something we're going to be doing as well. I think last I looked, there was a cost, although at some point I swore someone said there was a free version. Regardless, the other option is going to be the more simplistic option, which is exporting your data out into spreadsheets. Now, you're not going to export all data. It's not going to be the entire data set. You're only going to be exporting report data, which means you need to, figure out which reports matter the most to you. And then when you're doing your exports, you might have to make a couple of different exports for different reports. But you might also have to make a couple of different exports for different date ranges, just to make sure you're getting all of the data that you want. But looking at things from a high level, I think if you really need all the nitty-gritty stuff, then the BigQuery option might be the direction you have to go. For most people, we're going to care about what our traffic has looked like in our different mediums since we've been collecting data. So, organic, paid, direct, referral, email, etc. We want to know what those have been looking like. We also want to look at maybe individual page traffic over that duration as well, so we can see how different pages that traffic has ebbed and flowed over the years. And then those are going to be the two main ones that I'll probably be looking at. There might be some other ones in there. that are important. I think that's something we're going to be looking into more. As I think we're all going to be faced with what is the what's the best amount of data to capture without just downloading massive amounts of reporting data that we're not going to use. Let's grab the stuff that is actually useful, is helpful, and that we don't have to sort through a bunch of stuff to figure out. So those are unfortunately the big three options right now. Obviously, you can also just ignore it, and after July 1st, all your data is just going to disappear into the oblivion. From what I've heard, it won't even be available via APIs. So it's not like the reporting tool is gone. All the data should be gone. So we'll have to learn a little bit more as time goes on. But those are the three we're looking at right now.